A new partnership between the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund and a U.S. mixed martial arts league has the potential to grow the sport in the Middle East and boost Saudi soft power, but one obstacle will be the region's lack of MMA talent. SRJ Sports Investments, which is wholly owned by Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, announced an agreement in late August with the U.S.-based Professional Fighters League (PFL). Under the terms of the deal, SRJ Sports Investments will acquire a minority stake in the league. The exact financial figures have not been disclosed, but the PFL said the Saudi investment is at least $100 million. The Professional Fighters League is an MMA league that, unlike its peers, follows a season format similar to that of team sports. It is a competitor of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. In an interview with Al Monitor, PFL founder and chairman Don Davis said the league approached the Public Investment Fund in the summer of 2022 about the possibility of investing. "We saw them as probably one of the very best sports and global investors possible to fuel our next stage of growth," Davis told Al Monitor. The league said it will launch PFL MENA, named after the Middle East and North Africa, during the second quarter of 2024. The 2024 season will be held in Saudi Arabia, but afterwards the league plans to hold fights throughout the region. Davis said, "The biggest events in MMA are starting to be held in the Middle East." The Ultimate Fighting Championship began hosting its Fight Island series in Abu Dhabi in 2020 amid the travel restrictions resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic. Next month, Russia's Islam Makhachev will defend his lightweight title there in a rematch with Brazil's Charles Oliveira at UFC 294. However, MMA fans in the Middle East and North Africa do not have a product for their own region at present, according to Davis. "We saw a huge opportunity to expand a big fan base," he said. "They don't yet have a premium product in their own region where they can attend the events locally and watch it all in prime time. UFC 294, for example, will begin at 2 p.m. Eastern, which is 10 p.m. in Abu Dhabi. By the time Makhachev and Oliveira fight, it could be well after midnight local time." The PFL plans to have local fighters participate in its MENA League, instead of bringing in fighters from Europe and the Americas. Davis said there are three keys to successful MMA events: capital, coaches and fighters. "Saudi Arabia certainly has capital," he said. "However, the Middle East does not have top fighters at the moment, because the participation is very, very new. And the infrastructure is very, very embryonic." But Davis said that Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 plan for economic diversification includes bringing in coaches, to build the systems necessary to develop the fighters. The Middle East does have somewhat of an MMA scene. There are gyms in Jordan, Iraq, Lebanon and other countries in the region. The success of now retired UFC legend Khabib Nurmagomedov has also helped build a fan base in the Middle East. Nurmagomedov is from the Muslim-majority Dagestan region of Russia, and is open about his devout Muslim faith. Makhachev, also from Dagestan, has trained under Nurmagomedov. The PFL has a few fighters from the Middle East at present, such as Saudi Arabia's Abdullah al-Qahtani, Israel's Adam Karish, Jordan's Jarrah al-Silawi and Lebanon's Mohammed Fakhreddin, according to its website. But Davis said that Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 plan for economic diversification includes bringing in coaches, to build the systems necessary to develop the fighters. The Middle East does have somewhat of an MMA scene. There are gyms in Jordan, Iraq, Lebanon and other countries in the region. The success of now retired UFC legend Khabib Nurmagomedov has also helped build a fan base in the Middle East. Nurmagomedov is from the Muslim-majority Dagestan region of Russia, and is open about his devout Muslim faith. Makhachev, also from Dagestan, has trained under Nurmagomedov. The PFL has a few fighters from the Middle East at present, such as Saudi Arabia's Abdullah al-Qahtani, Israel's Adam Karish, Jordan's Jarrah al-Silawi and Lebanon's Mohammed Fakhreddin, according to its website. MMA has a predominantly male following in the Middle East and throughout the world, though Davis said that about a third of the PFL's global leadership consists of women. The PFL has both male and female fighters. Saudi Arabia is pursuing an aggressive sports strategy. The Public Investment Fund's Live Golf launched last year and is currently on its second season while continuing to work out a merger with its US-based rival, the PGA Tour. The Saudi Pro League in soccer has signed several top European and South American stars in recent months, most notably Cristiano Ronaldo. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman also announced a national esports strategy in 2022. Critics accuse the kingdom of sportswashing its human rights issues. Live Golf has been especially scrutinized due to the 2018 murder of Saudi writer Jamal Khashoggi inside the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, the treatment of women in the country, and, to a lesser extent, the alleged Saudi government role in the 9/11 attacks. Davis, however, said the Professional Fighters League viewed the Saudi fund as being the best of the best in terms of investors and partners. Much of the criticism has been from sports media, but the issue has also attracted the attention of Congress. In July, two PGA Tour executives testified before the Senate on the deal with Liv. Sen. Richard Blumenthal, D-Con, has tried unsuccessfully to get Public Investment Fund Governor Yasser Al-Rumayyan to testify as well. Despite the controversy, Saudi Arabia has had some success in normalizing its relations with the United States and the West through sports. Dr. Yoav Dubinsky, an instructor of sports business at the University of Oregon, pointed to the kingdom's hosting of World Wrestling Entertainment (WWE) pay-per-view events starting in 2018. These are all attempts to further normalize relations between Saudi Arabia, the United States, and the Western world through sports, Dubinsky told Al Monitor. One of the first breakthroughs of the Saudis into the American sports market was through the collaboration with the WWE, an organization that is very much linked with American nationalism and patriotism. The WWE notably merged with the UFC earlier this month. Dubinsky added, investing in MMA is along the lines with the target audience the Saudis are already engaged with, due to the WWE's history with Saudi Arabia and merger with the UFC. Saudi Arabia is becoming more mainstream in the U.S. through its sports investments, according to Dubinsky, author of the book, Nation Branding and Sports Diplomacy, Country Image Games in Times of Change. The Saudis are gradually taking steps into American mainstream through sports, but they still receive much scrutiny on human rights violations and on gender inequalities, he said. The more the Saudis invest in sports that Americans are interested in, the more power and connection it gives the countries when engaging with American audiences, sponsors, administrators and other stakeholders, which eventually helps normalizing the country.